The Red Sox officially released Hanley Ramirez Friday. The surprising decision to designate Ramirez for assignment opened up a roster spot for Dustin Pedroia after the second baseman returned from injury. It also lifted the team off the hook for Ramirez's $22 million vesting option for next season. Now that the 34-year-old has been officially released by the Red Sox, voiding the option, another team can sign him without facing the same quandary. Boston still owes Ramirez $15.25 million this season, which they could end up paying him to ply his trade for a competitor. Teams could be interested in adding him for his value at the plate, or on the block as a trade chip at the deadline. The Boston Globe's Nick Coffardo reports the list of teams that could be pondering the addition includes the Mariners, Rockies, White Sox, Angels, Twins, Rays, and Cardinals. Here's a look at some of the possible landing spots for Ramirez. Colorado Rockies. The Rockies could use an upgrade at first base, where they are currently paying Ian Desmond $22 million for a .192, .256, .389 line. Desmond has cost his team over a full win, minus 1.2 WAR, compared to Ramirez's 0.1 WAR. Colorado also has an infield prospect, Ryan McMahon, who just made the jump from AAA, but he has yet to prove himself an everyday player at the major league level. If Ramirez plays like he did in May, he might not represent a significant bump above Desmond, who's been trending upwards as of late, but a rejuvenated Ramirez playing like he did to start the year could give the Rockies the boost they need as they jostle for position with the Arizona Diamondbacks in a tight NL West. One intriguing aspect of this addition for the Rockies, per MLB.com's Mark Feinsand, Ramirez's career ops at Coors Field, 1.040, is his highest at any ballpark. Seattle Mariners. In May, the MLB's drug policy took a huge chunk out of the middle of Seattle's lineup. Robinson Cano, an 8-time All-Star, was suspended 80 games after he tested positive for a banned substance. The Mariners haven't slowed down without him, powering on to the third-best record in the majors behind the Red Sox and Yankees. Despite their continued success, Seattle could be in the market for an offensive addition, and Coffardo threw their name into the ring for Ramirez. There isn't an automatic spot for him in the everyday lineup, with Ryan Healy at first base and Nelson Cruz manning the designated hitter role, but the Mariners could work his bat in off the bench. New York Mets. Ramirez would fit right in on the roster the Mets have assembled. New York has made a habit of signing veterans and letting their former clubs take care of the bulk of their contracts. He'd join Adrian Gonzalez, Jose Reyes, Jay Bruce, and Jose Bautista on a lineup some Twitter users pointed out would have been excellent 6 or 7 years ago. Mets are 3 games back of the Atlanta Braves, locked in what's shaping up to be a crowded 4-team race for the NL East crown. Ramirez could be the addition that vaults them above that pack, again, provided he performs like the force he appeared to be at the outset of the season instead of the .163 hitter he became in May. However, the Mets are reportedly unlikely to pursue the first baseman, so the 2012 fantasy team may have to stay just that. Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles are another team whose first baseman is struggling at the plate. Chris Davis has posted a .154, .234, .239 line this season, the worst production at the position in baseball. Baltimore's general manager, Dan Duquette, confirmed a move for Ramirez is under consideration. As Chad Finn writes, the move would suit Duquette's modus operandi. A somewhat faded 30-something former star that has no defensive value and comes cheap after a contender decided he wasn't going to help the cause much longer and dumped him before he became a problem. Sign him up. The Orioles, who own the worst record in the majors, could use Ramirez as a trade chip at the deadline to kickstart their rebuild. Houston Astros. The Astros' rebuild ended with a World Series victory last season. They aren't in need of a trade chip, but an upgraded first base (DH), signed at the pro-rated veteran minimum, wouldn't hurt the defending champions. Evan Gattis, Houston's primary designated hitter, has room for improvement on his slash line .224, .293, .429, while their first baseman Yuli Gurriel has just one home run on the year. However, Conforto reports that Houston's bigger need is in the bullpen, so their focus may be elsewhere. The Red Sox split their first series against the Astros. When the teams meet again on September 7, in another rematch of last year's ALDS, Ramirez could be back in Fenway Park wearing orange and seeking revenge. Close the biggest headlines, delivered to your inbox. Get news as it happens. Sign up for Boston.com's email news alerts. Thanks for signing up.